So let's start now. So master your outlook is basically that we want to master our outlook to the world. And outlook is not simply what we see the world as, but what world sees us as. And also it means that we must change ourselves to see a better world in front of us. And thereby actually find that this is going to help us, benefit us in everything that we do. So let's start. What is outlook is the first question that we must discuss. Am I audible to everyone? Can anyone check and let me know if I'm audible, because I've just got a message that I'm not audible. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, thank you. So let's go for the first thing. What is outlook? Why do we need it? Do we need to change it? And how to master it? The first and the foremost thing is understanding what is outlook. So there's an exercise that I have got for you. Give me one word answer, which is not a synonym, but how you perceive outlook as. And it should be just one word. Can you actually replace outlook with some other word? Is that possible for you? If that's possible, just give me one word. Then word I'll actually connect and I'll give you a better answer to it. Vision, definitely, that could be one part of it. Perception, yeah, could be possible. I've just got two answers. I'm waiting for the others. Opinion, yeah, definitely to a certain extent, but not exactly correct. Are there some more answers coming, or should I move on? So I'll ask you another question, that is for outlook. The second part is that you must calculate the score of it. So how do you calculate the score of outlook? You find a value of O in the alphabets. You find a value of U, T, L, O, K, and add them up. And what do you get? I'm waiting for the answer. See, everyone has got a calculator. Everyone has got every single resource to come out with the score of it. Because there's some surprise coming at the end of it. So I would want everyone to participate. I've got an answer that you cannot calculate in numbers, but doesn't matter. See, I'll tell you the score that comes out. It comes out to 109. If we calculate it properly, then we get an answer that is 109. So how do we divide that 109? We have known about certain words in past while we were studying, that some words attribute to 90, some words attribute to 95, some words attribute to 98, and then there's a word which we call 100. And what is that? So when we divide the outlook in two parts, I would say let's reframe it as 109. And what do we get from it? We get a very simple picture out of it. That simple picture would be 100 is attitude and 9, as we go about it, is I. So outlook is nothing but my attitude combined with I. That is me. So now, till now, you have been thinking about why are we talking about outlook and why are we talking about me in it? Because outlook has a very important part as I in it. And if we separate that I, we'll just be left with an attitude without my own identity. So let's discuss further. Attitude is nothing but mindset, action, and reaction. Now you would have observed that mindset and action are in bold, whereas reaction is not bold, is in simple text. And there's a reason to it. Why? Because the reaction is always guided by some preconceived action or preconceived thoughts or preconceived notion or a pre-happening to it. So always a reaction would be something that is coming in response to something. So it doesn't matter that a reaction would actually make up my attitude to that extent as the mindset and action would. Going forth, the second part of it, that was I. So let me ask you three questions. Who am I? What is my style? And how do I change it for better? Now, again, the third question, you would see that it's in plain text. How do I change it for the better? So I would ask that, why is it so that change or changing it for the better is not that important? But before I ask you that question, my first question to everyone who's there, answer this question that who am I? And this I would like everyone to answer because this is a very important and crucial question for everyone to answer. Who are you? I'll ask everyone if they want to unmute and answer the question. They can unmute and answer. I've just got one response. If others are there, I would ask everyone to actually come forth and give me an answer. Who are you? I'm waiting for a response. If people are ready to respond, I'll move forth. I've just got a wonderful answer to who am I. I guess you must check your audio output because if I am not wrong, I am audible to everyone. So let me share with you an answer which has just been dropped into my mailbox, and that's, I'm a series of atoms integrated and shipped to my father's address. That's an awesome answer that I can expect about who am I. But we are not going into the biology and the chemistry of how we are formed over here. Rather, I would ask you, how do you identify yourself? So when we talk about who am I, we talk about one thing, that is name. Then we have an identity, and then we have a personality. So we all have a name assigned to us. For suppose I am Honey, there are people in the group like Amber and Kishore. So who are they? They are known by their name. The second thing is identity. So you have a body type, you have a physique, you have certain traits, you have particular characteristics that are assigned to you. And when observed, you can easily identify that person from a long distance. And third is a personality. So before I move on to personality, there's a very interesting quiz in which you can judge out your personality. And that quiz is there on 16personalities.com. Everyone I would just type in the link for everyone over there in the message box. Everyone should actually visit that link and should find out what personality do they possess, because that is a very good way to judge who we are. It's 16personalities.com. Everyone should go there after the meeting is over and find out what their personality is. A person could be extrovert and introvert, or a person could be what do you call, goal oriented or people oriented. Likewise, on the basis of MBTI, they have characterized every person into 16 categories, and that is very useful to understand what your inner strengths are or weakness are. And why do I talk about personality over here is a very important concept when we talk about our outlook to the world and how the world views us. So moving forth, we'll understand why I'm talking about personality. But a great thing that you would observe in this would be that personality, whenever you go and you find out your own personality in it, you would find out that a personality is always motivated by one thing, that is a mood. And I asked you to keep this word in mind, because later when I asked you what was the one word that I had asked you to keep aside and return to me and revert to me later, you must remember that it was mood. Because everything in this world is determined by our mood. If our mood is good, we'll definitely go out and do certain things. If our mood is not that good, we'll try and skip things. And lastly, what is my style? So, do you all agree that our style is basically a summation of conduct and outfits? Just type in Y if you see yes, and an N if you have a different version of it. And definitely, I'll be happy to know what is style as per you. What is style as per you? So I believe that style is nothing but conduct and outfits, and we can actually make a lot of amendments and changes to the conduct that we have or to the outfit that we wear. And if that is my style, does it have to be permanent or does it have to be ever changing, changing with the trends that are coming across and going by? Is what my next question would be. But don't worry, it will be a very simple question for you to answer. So likewise, we have talked about who am I, that I am a name and an identity and a personality, which depends on my mood, and mood has to be kept aside. What is my style? It's conduct and outfits. And then in conduct, we can also have verbal and non-verbal conduct. Whereas in outfits, I would say that more than 70% of how we dress ourselves, how we go forth in front of others while we are standing and talking to them or while we are interacting with them on a day-to-day basis, our outfits actually play 70% of the part to create an expression of your individuality in front of them. So an expression of yours which might impress on or might not impress the other person is most of the times a direct result of your outfits. So if you have your outfits right in the right context, definitely you can create your own variety of expression for others to perceive you as. And since I'm a couturier, so definitely I would talk about my style in a similar manner, because our outlook is guided a lot by our outfits. So our outfits are very important to create an outlook, which is very important for people to perceive. So do I need to change it for the better? That's a very important question. Do you think that we need to change the outfit that we have or change the outlook that we possess in order to come out better in front of people? Now, this is a simple question that I've asked you. Why? Because many people want to impress, and some people would like to express. So, are you And person who would like to impress, they can type I. And if you're a person who wants to express, they can type E in the chat box. What is more important to you, impressing or expressing? I've got an E from people who have not been able to express till now. That's great. Well, eyes are also not behind. So definitely it can be a factor of the context we are in, and definitely there would be something better that we would want to have. And if it is always about expressing, can we express ourselves in a better manner? And as you can see over here, that better is in bold text. Definitely that means something more deeper. And what would be that? So either it could be an ideal version of you, or it can be a 2.0 version. So if it is an ideal version, okay. So if that is an ideal version or a 2.0 version, definitely we would take some steps to it. And how do we reach it? So we reach it by actually going from a current scenario to a new, that is what we call a hero formula. What is a hero formula? You go from your status quo, meet the adversities, come out bravely, achieve your target, and finally establish a new status quo. And that is how you achieve your ideal and also get a new normal to your daily thing. But do you need to change it? So that's a very important question. We can either change it by adapting, or we can enhance it. What do you adapt and what do you enhance is a very important question. Do we adapt to the current trends and dress accordingly? Do we enhance our outlook based on the current scenario? That is a question that has been like revolving in my mind for almost 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Do I need to adapt? Do I need to enhance? Both are the deepest questions that I've ever thought about. If you feel the same, just type in why. Because before we move on to change it for the better, we must understand that outlook was attitude and I'm focusing on I before I get on to attitude. For me to understand myself is very important as compared to understanding my attitude. Because there's a simple saying that if you conquer your mind, you're able to conquer your fears. And if you conquer your fears, you're able to win the battle. And if you're able to win the battle, you can change your outlook. So we'll just wrap it up very quickly. Is change necessary? Well, I believe that change is necessary or not depends upon what state are you in. And also depends upon what the second aspect was, attitude. What was attitude? Attitude was mindset and attitude was action. Also a reaction. But what was attitude mindset? It was thoughts and beliefs. Why have I kept beliefs at the second point and thoughts at first? Is a very simple reason that even before we develop our thinking ability, our beliefs are already there. But they cannot always be primary to every person. Everyone wants freedom, liberation. Everyone wants that inch of space to think and to act on its own. Therefore, thoughts are always something that evolve over time, and they can also occur in two parts. See, thoughts can be either evolving from your mind or they can be coming through the minds of the others when you match the frequency of the others, and that is how you lead to thoughts. And thoughts are nothing but the seeds of your actions. So, mindset and action are the very important things that we talk about when we talk about attitude. Why were we talking about all these things when we were here to master our outlook? Because that was very obvious. Why? Because until and unless you got to the point where we talked about outfit, nothing was going to change. Outfits are what people look at first. And is it necessary? Definitely, it's necessary. Because if you don't wear the right outfit at the right context, you are gonna miss out. You are gonna miss out in expressing yourselves the way you want to be. So look at yourself. What's not changing and what's changing? Now I ask a very simple question to everyone over there. Is this something that you observed yourself changing time by time and time? And is this something that you see that's not changing? I'll just take 5 more minutes of everyone present over here. So I want everyone to participate to the maximum. What is that you think is changing in you, and what is that's keeping constant? So one of them mentioned that moods are changing. Definitely, moods are changing, and that is a very important answer, because when we look at ourselves, the neck height, the shoulder, the arms, the foot size, the torso structure, everything remains constant. But what's changing? Changing is just the mood. And this gives me the answer to this question, that what's not changing is my body structure, which after reaching a particular stage remains almost as it is from that time onwards. Whereas what we talk about, it's not changing, is this, and what's changing is our mood. So if our body structure remains same, what we should have is an ideal fashion for us. And what do I call it? I call it the permanent fashion. Now, this is not a theory that I have proposed. This is a theory that has been proposed by Alan Flusser, who's one of the best guys to look up to in 1930s and even before, and now happens to be one of the gurus of all the fashion enthusiasts present in the world. And it just says that there are two things that you must keep in mind while talking about permanent fashion, that is color and proportion. If you have the right proportions as per your body type, and you inherit the right colors to your wardrobe, you are going to maintain a style which would actually mean that this is permanent fashion for you. You would be able to overcome all the obstacles while actually embracing a style that you want to have. And you would be able to come out with your own style. And like we were talking about what's changing, so it's smooth. And it could be a current one, it could be a better one. If it is a current one, are you happy with it? If you're not happy with it, you would want to improve it. So what is a current mood? If there is a current mood, there is a fashion theory which talks about mood illustration. And this is coming out from the fashion psychology. So there are only two things that happen in the world. That is current mood, a mood illustration, and a better mood, mood enhancement. The current mood always talks about one thing. That is, we dress up to actually look better. And a better mood talks about we dress up to look like a ideal or look like a 2.0 version. To look better is not equivalent to looking like ideal, because ideal has a different body type, structure, way of conduct, everything. But we know our body. So we must always embrace that. If we go for a better mood by mood enhancement and change the outfits that we have, we can find that we would be happy for a certain time. But the moment there's a question coming in front of me by a people that you don't look good in this outfit, or there are some objections coming to the way you dress up yourself or you style yourself, again you would be in a state of dilemma, because once you were thinking that no, this is what I have done to improve my mood, whereas other people are not convinced by the way I have dressed up myself, by the way I have worn the outfits, and definitely again you try to change it. Whereas when you embrace the current mood, you actually accept the fact that once you are happy, whatever you wear doesn't matter. That is when you have attained the state of permanent fashion. You've understood your style, and that style is very important for your attitude. When you get into that mindset that this is my current style and this is the style as per my body, these are the color that suits my body, I must always embrace it. Then I'll be able to go forth and understand what style means for me, and this is my outlook towards the world. They say that clothes actually define the way we look at the world and the world looks at us. So if clothes are going to determine how we look at the world and the world looks at us, definitely we must have our own individual outlook. And that is nothing but our outlook. Every time we get into this vicious cycle where we keep on thinking that if I change my mood to a different mood where I become my ideal or 2.0 version, it is always going to mean that in the mood enhancement process, I have changed my particular version of style and got into a version of style of someone else, which is not going to suit my body proportion. And thereby, I'm going to fail. Also, there are three key current rules that you must always think about while dressing yourself up. That is fit, then it's fabric, and then it's fashion. So fit, if clothes are fitting you perfectly, it means that you have the right fit, because a good fit would always hide all the defects that are present in everything else, in your conduct and everything. Whereas if the fabric is not good, definitely you would have problem in adjusting to it. And last but not the least, what is in trend? Again, fashion is all about style, and you can carve your style if you carve your outlook in the right manner. With this, I would say that if you are able to master your outlook in a certain manner, how, that is up to you. When you change your eye and understand who you are, you would be able to understand better about your mood enhancement, and also about your outfit, which guide your outlook, which guide others' outlook to you. So outlook, as I conclude, is nothing but attitude and I. If I have the right attitude and if I understand myself, it's just a matter of seconds to understand what a style is and embrace it to have it better. That's it what I have from today. That is master your outlook, learn it to win the life. If there are any questions, I would like everyone to please come on board, and we have just 1 odd minute and we wrap it up. I guess everyone is way too clear on everything that we have discussed so far. And on that note, I believe everyone is quite clear about how we can master our outlook. And so I bid adieu and say a very goodbye to everyone.